Hello everyone, welcome back to Gold Globe. Today, I have a very special video where I'll be sharing my predictions for the four most exciting leagues in Europe, the Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, and the Premier League. We'll analyze which teams might surprise us, who will fight for the title, and which clubs might be in danger of relegation. Are you ready to find out who the champions of this season will be? Let's get started. We begin with the Bundesliga, where I believe it will be a fairly balanced season. In fourth place, I have RB Leipzig. They have made some interesting signings for the future, and the only significant departures would be Dani Olmo and Josip Stanisic, who returns to Bayern Munich. They might have a less strong and less deep squad, but I think it will be enough for them to finish fourth. In third place, I have Bayern Munich. Vincent Kompany is their new coach, and honestly, I have some doubts about him since he hasn't managed a team of this caliber. Although I don't doubt his tactical knowledge, managing the dressing room could be tricky. Bayern Munich made some good signings like Michael Olise, Joao Palhinha, and Hiroki Ito. De Ligt and Mazraoui left the team, both going to Manchester United. Bayern Munich has a more complete squad, though I think they're still missing a player or two, especially in defense. I think they'll finish third due to my doubts about Kompany. In second place, I have Borussia Dortmund, also with Nuri Sahin as the new coach, which gives me even more doubts than Kompany. Nuri's coaching experience is limited to Antalyaspor in Turkey, where he took the team from the lower part of the table to mid-table positions. Borussia Dortmund had a great transfer market, reinforcing almost all of their weak positions with good players like Waldemar Anton, Pascal Grob, and Jan Couto. They did sell Niklas Füllkrug, who was important last season, but they replaced him with the signings of Serhou Guirassy and Maximilian Bayer, two very good forwards. In my opinion, the only weak position is the left back, where Rami Bensebaini is not quite working out. If they manage to reinforce that position, and Nuri Sahin does well as a coach, they could have a great season. The Bundesliga champion, I believe, will once again be Bayer Leverkusen under Xabi Alonso. They practically have the same team, and it looks like they won't lose any key players. If Xabi Alonso focuses on the Bundesliga, they could win it again. That's why I think they should put the Champions League on the back burner and aim for the double. The relegation candidates, in my opinion, are St. Pauli, who lost their coach that led them to promotion, the also newly promoted Holstein Kiel and Heidenheim. Let's move on to La Liga. In fourth place, I have Athletic Club, who managed to keep Nico Williams, who I think will be one of the standout players in La Liga. Ernesto Valverde is a very consistent coach in the league. They will undoubtedly be a tough team to beat. In third place, I have Atletico Madrid under Cholo Simeone. With the signings of Robin Lenormand, Alexander Sorloth, and Julian Alvarez, they have undoubtedly improved their squad's quality, although I think they still need more players in defense, especially another center-back. The most significant departure might be Alvaro Morata, but they've replaced him well and even improved that position. In second place, I have Barcelona. They have a new coach and new hopes in Hansi Flick, who I think will do a great job, but they need to give him time. In the end, they couldn't sign Nico Williams, but they did get Dani Olmo, who I don't think is entirely necessary. I believe they have other weaker positions. The young Pau Victor arrived from Girona and had a great preseason. We'll see if he gets a lot of minutes throughout the season. They haven't sold any key players, but there are players injured for the start of the season, such as Gavi, Ronald Araujo, and Frenkie de Jong. Precisely because of this, I think the first part of the season will be the most challenging for Barcelona. And we have to talk about Lamine Yamal, a truly brilliant player who seems poised for a breakout season in terms of numbers. As last season he always played well, but lacked contributions in goals and assists. In La Liga, I also think the champion will repeat with Real Madrid, the current champions of La Liga and the Champions League. Finally, after years, Kylian Mbappe arrived at the Santiago Bernabeu. The young Endrick also joined, and we'll see if he gets a lot of minutes in his first season. It's true that with Mbappe, the starting lineup improves significantly, but it's also worth noting that they lost players who provided depth to the squad, like Joselu, Nacho Fernandez, and Toni Kroos, who was one of the best players in the world last season and retired from football. Even so, I think Real Madrid has more than enough to retain the title, even comfortably. My relegation candidates are the newly promoted Leganés and Real Valladolid. To these two, I add Rayo Vallecano, who came very close to relegation last season, and I think will finally go down this time. In Serie A, I have the Europa League champions, Atalanta, under Gianpiero Gasperini, in 4th place. Interesting additions to the Bergamo team include Matteo Retegui, Ben Godfrey, and Zaniolo. I think they've strengthened well and have a better team than last season. In 3rd place, I have Juventus, who hired Thiago Motta as coach. I think he's a coach with a lot of potential and the right decision. They've strengthened the midfield very well with Douglas Luiz and Kefren Thuram, 2 very good players. I think Juventus needs to work on a long-term plan, trust in Thiago Motta, and build a sports project. Definitely a season to regain confidence and hope. In 2nd place, I have Milan, who have Paulo Fonseca as the new coach. I think they're a team looking to refresh their squad. Maybe I'm putting them too high, but they have a good starting lineup and made interesting signings like Alvaro Morata, Emerson Royal, and Pavlovic. I believe Inter Milan will be Serie A champions again. I think they still have a significant advantage over the other teams, already having a great squad and also strengthening very well with signings like Davide Fratesi, Marko Arnautovic, Piotr Zielinski, and Mehdi Taremi. I think they will be champions again in a very comfortable and calm manner. The relegation candidates, I think, will be the newly promoted Venezia, along with Empoli and Hellas Verona. The Premier League promises another exciting season. In 4th place, I have Tottenham Hotspur, who narrowly missed out on the Champions League last season. The signing of Dominic Solanke is a great addition, and Ange Postecoglou will get the best out of him. They've also made some significant changes to the squad, looking, I believe, to build a team suited to the coach's preferences. In 3rd place, I have Liverpool, who after Klopp's departure, hired Arne Slot, who has a more possession-based style than Jurgen. So far, Liverpool hasn't made any significant moves, which is strange. In 2nd place, I have Manchester City under Pep Guardiola, who hasn't made many moves in the market. The most important departure is Julian Alvarez, and practically the only signing is Savinho. Manchester City still has a great team, although it's gradually deteriorating from that squad that won the Champions League. While I wouldn't be surprised if they won the Premier League again, I think we'll finally have a new champion in the Premier League. Finally, it could be the season for Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. They've signed Riccardo Calafiori and haven't lost any key players. I still think they need a higher quality central striker, but they've already shown that they're a team with great chemistry and are getting closer to the championship. My relegation candidates are the newly promoted Southampton and Ipswich Town. In an extremely competitive league, I think they're below the others in terms of squad quality. I also add Nottingham Forest, who were already close to relegation, and I think they still lack a bit more quality in their squad. These are my predictions. I think Real Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, and Inter Milan will be champions again, and Arsenal will finally win the Premier League. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.